Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night,
Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you guys are rolling with us again. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, share it with a couple of friends, and subscribe so you never miss a live interactive show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged into us. But if you guys want the full Man Hour experience, you got to pick some put it. That is a members-only community. You get free entry to the weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and only bonus live streams that only the Picks and Punnets get. So if you guys want that next level S, guys, join the squad today. Now remember, this is a live, interactive show, so drop your thoughts, your opinions, and your hottest takes down below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Mr. Old Man River says, what up, Man Hour? What is up, brother? He's a pigskin pundit.
Skin pun. Get you some.
Old Man River says, what up, what up, what up? What is up, John Peoples today? How you doing today, brother? Now that we've had the Myles Garrett trade for the Jared Verse, now that we had the A.J. Brown trade happen, now that we've had Odell Beckham Jr. go back to New York Football Giants, how is everybody feeling? How is everybody taking a deep breath right now and just relaxing? Because right now, the NFL world is off the chain. Now, if you guys are new here, we have been going across the NFL landscape and doing our way too early win-loss predictions. Last week, we done did the AFC North. We done did the AFC South. We done did the AFC East, and we did the AFC West as well. Now, it's time for the NFC to take center stage, and tonight, we're going to do the NFC East. That is the Washington Commanders. That is the Dallas Cowboys. That is Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Football Giants. Now, like I said before, these are the way too early win-loss predictions. So when I picked these win-losses, Odell Beckham Jr., Jackson Berrios, and Juju Smith-Schuster was not on the New York Football Giants. As a matter of fact, A.J. Brown was still a Philadelphia Eagle. Does that change my picks? Tune back in August and we'll see. But I'm sticking to my guns, what I have right here, right now. So guys, let's get into the way too early win-loss predictions. Let me go ahead and wet my whistle because the Elgers are kicking my ass right now. And Lady O says, rest in peace, Joe Rogan. That's a false statement. Joe Rogan has not passed away. Because I feel like the Twitterverse would be blowing up right now. And let me go to Twitter just to confirm real quick. And yeah, nothing on Twitter. So good luck trying to troll somewhere else because we are done then, bro. Hair. But do what John People says and hit the like button. Big skin pun. Get you some.
Big skin pun. Get you some.
So guys, let's start off with the top, and let's start with the team that I think that could potentially come back and do some things that could finally maybe repeat what they did not last season but 2 seasons ago, and that is the one and only Washington Commanders. Because man, our nation, the Washington Commanders are officially entering the high-stakes, do-or-die season, heading into year 3 of the Dan Quinn era after Rush 5-12 finished last season. General Manager Adam Pearce hit the absolute reset button on the coaching staff, bringing in David Blau, a brand new offensive coordinator to completely rebuild the scheme around Jaden Daniels. Now, before we hit our way too early win-loss predictions, we have to talk the massive overhaul that just the Washington Commanders just went through. First up, the offense. The offense is getting some serious makeover to support Jaden Daniels finally. To protect his blind side, the Commanders handed superstar left tackle Laramie Tunsil a massive and well-deserved contract extension. And on top of that, Austin Eckler is gone. Rachaad White is officially now the new powerhouse running back in DC along with Jerome Ford. I like the 1-2 punch that they got going on. And while Scary Terry is locked in for a heavy dose of targets in the new offense, the weapons room added serious versatility with Traylon Burks, Van Jefferson, and tight end Akuano. Am I saying that name right? Akuano. Either way, he is going to be a pretty good tight end this season. But then we flip to the defensive side of the ball, and Dan Quinn has his hands in it, and he has completely re-engineered his edge rushing and secondary. The front office, including Dan Quinn, went on an absolute tear, signing pass rusher Owe to a monster 4-year contract. And to adding edge help, they also brought in Charles and Chechion on the back end, and they added hard-hitting safety Nick Cross and completely restructured the cornerback room with Robertson and Weatherspoon. They are younger, they are faster, and they are built for an aggressive pass rush. Unlike in years past when they were a little long in the tooth, they are a little wet behind the ears this year, and I definitely like what the Commanders did. They completely changed play callers, built a wall for Jaden Daniels, and remade the defense with elite speed. But guys, now let's talk about the 2026 schedule and see if the squad can shock the NFC East and secure a major bounce back year. But man, our nation, lock in your records in the chat right now because it is time for the official week by week, way too early win-loss predictions for the Washington Commanders. And guess what? Week number 1, they start on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I have been on record several times on many different shows, on many different platforms saying that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback. And guess what? It is time for Jalen Hurts to prove that he is a top 10 quarterback. It is time for Jalen Hurts to prove that he can be the man, the myth, the legend. It is time for Jalen Hurts to take that step up and move on from A.J. Brown and be the man. And week number 1, the Washington Commanders see that Jalen Hurts can be the man. And week number 1, the Washington Commanders see that defense firsthand. Don't matter how many turnover pieces that they have, they are the real deal. The Philadelphia Eagles come out in week 1 at home for the Eagles and they beat the Washington Commanders down, giving the Commanders' first loss of the season. But week number 2, it doesn't get any easier for the Washington Commanders because they're on the road yet again, this time playing the Dallas Cowboys. When you play arguably the best 2 teams in the AFC in back-to-back weeks, and you are getting blown out back-to-back weeks, something is you might be in for a very, very long year. But the Dallas Cowboys do blow out the Washington Commanders in the week 2 matchup, giving the Commanders an 0-2 start and 2 blown out losses to start the season. Ouch. But you would think after you play the arguably the best team in the NFC, and then arguably the second best team in the NFC, you would potentially get a break, right? Not so fast, my friend, because week number 3, they're at home with the home opener, but they welcome Super Bowl champions Seattle Seahawks into town. So let me get this right. You start off with the best team in the NFC, start off with the second best team in the NFC, and now you're playing the reigning Super Bowl champions, which is the third best team in the NFC? Good grief. Give me the third straight loss for the Washington Commanders to start the season. What is going on? Can this schedule get any easier? Well, it does a little bit because they do play the Indianapolis Colts come week 4. They do play the Indianapolis come week 4. However, it is across the pond over there in London. And we all know about offenses don't travel. Defenses do travel. It's going to be a defensive slugfest. And all that hype we just gave the defense this pre-show, guess what? The defense finally shows out and they shut down the Indianapolis Colts, giving the Washington Commanders the first win of the season. Now, week number 5. Normally you would think, fresh off over the pond, fresh off playing the 3 hardest teams in the NFC, you get a little breather, right? Yeah, not so fast, my friend, because week number 5, they play the most slept-on team in the NFC, and that is the New York Football Giants. Now, the Commanders, when they come back from London, week number 4, they have a little kumbaya moment. They have a nice little coming together moment. And week number 5, that coming together moment catapults them into a win over the New York Football Giants, giving 2 wins in a row, sitting at 2-3 on the season, heading into week 6 when they travel to Santa Clara, California to take on the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. Now, the 49ers are a team that I don't know what to think of them. They have a potentially to be really, really good, and they also have a potential to be really, 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 really bad. We don't know what Ayuk's doing. We don't know if Brock Purdy is the man, the myth, the legend. But I do know that in San Francisco 49ers, on Monday Night Football, they're going to be a tough team to beat. And unfortunately, the Commanders dropped to the 49ers in a close matchup, 24-21 type of situation, giving the Commanders the 4th loss of the season, heading in to the Week 7 bye week. Take a breath, Commanders fans. It is okay. Whether you're 1-5 going into the bye week, whether you're 2-4 going into the bye week, the best case scenario, you might be 3-3 heading into the bye week. It is okay. You probably played the second hardest 6-game stretch in all of NFL this season, maybe just behind the Denver Broncos. So take a deep breath, relax, come out week 8 when you play the Philadelphia Eagles for the second time this season at home this time. And this time, it is a different story. Jaden Daniels is ready. Scary Terry is ready. And the boys just keep running the rock down the Philadelphia Eagles throat all game long. They might muster 253 to 300 yards in this game on the ground. I think Commanders beat the Eagles fresh off the bye week out of week 8, given a week 9 matchup at home against possibly now the best team in the NFC in the LA Rams. Now, I did say the Eagles were the best. I did say the Cowboys were a top team. The Seahawks were the best team. But what the LA Rams just did yesterday completely changes them. It might make them the best team in the NFC. But week number 9, the Rams are a team that you really don't want to play. The Rams are a team that have a very good possibility of going 20-0 this season before the Myles Garrett trade. The LA Rams are a team that if you stop Puka, Devontae Adams steps up. If you decide to stop Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams is going to rush for 150 yards. If you decide to stop the run, Matthew Stafford's going to eat you alive. However, going across the United States of America on a 1 p.m. game in the nation's capital, I think the Washington Commanders capitalize on that and beat the LA Rams in a very close 17-16 type of score, giving them 2 wins in a row and 4 of their last 5. All of a sudden, we see things rolling. All of a sudden, we're like, okay, Washington Commanders, we see you. We see you doing dogs work over here. Week number 10, Thursday Night Football taking on divisional opponent, New York Football Giants. Now, there are 3 things in this Washington Commanders schedule that kind of gives them a disadvantage, right? Number 1, playing overseas and then not having a bye week after the overseas game. I think that is complete horse poo-poo. Number 2, playing a divisional opponent on Thursday Night Football. Kind of a little bit of horse poo-poo. And then the third one is they play a Thursday night game and then a Monday night game, giving them 11 days off. Kind of a little bit more of a little bit of poo-poo-poo. However, week 10 versus New York Football Giants on Thursday Night Football, they beat the Giants. They sweep the New York Giants this season in a very close slug match. Divisional opponents on Thursday are going to be very blah, right? But the Washington Commanders get the win, give them the 3rd win in a row, and by the way, 5 of the last 6. They are cooking. Things are starting to cook in the nation's capital. Week 11, that momentum is going to carry to Monday Night Football when you play the Cincinnati Bengals. I have been on record saying that the Bengals have a Super Bowl caliber offense when they click. But when they don't click, they are the worst offense in the entire NFL. That's just what it is. There is no mediocre point for the Bengals. They're either really good or really bad. And on Monday Night Football in Washington, they get their ass cooked because their offense just doesn't show up and the defense is just that bad. Giving the Commanders a 4-game winning streak, winners 6 of their last 7, all of a sudden they cooking. All of a sudden they kind of like Jaden Daniels rookie year again. We go in the NFC Championship game. Look at us, baby. We here. But week 12, they travel to Arizona Cardinals to play the Cardinals. This is a game where they kind of go sleepwalking in. There are a lot of teams that from the NFC on the East Coast do not play well in Phoenix Stadium. The Green Bay Packers don't play there well. The Dallas Cowboys don't play there well. And the Washington Commanders don't play there well. They get the loss versus the Arizona Cardinals, snapping that 4-game winning streak. Week 13, on the road yet again. This time in Nashville, Tennessee, to take on the Tennessee Titans. The new logo, the new look, Cam Ward, Cornell Tate. Ooh, they cooking, baby! Shut up. Commanders get their Commanders whoop that ass. The Titans don't even have a chance. The Commanders get back on their winning ways. Not so fast, my man. Not so fast because week 14, they're back at home. They play well at home, but they play arguably the best defense in the entire NFL. They play a team that is going to punch you in the mouth over and over and over again. They're playing a team that is going to win the AFC South, and that is the one and only Houston Texans. Commanders defense got better. Offense got better. But guess what? The Houston Texans are still better, giving them yet another loss on the season. Uh-oh. Now we've lost 2 of 3. Now we're starting to be like, oh no, what's going on? We were hot mid-season. But things are starting to cool off just a little bit because week 15, they're at home yet again, this time taking on the Atlanta Falcons. It could be Michael Penix Jr., it could be Tua, it could be maybe they can pick up, I don't know, somebody else. It doesn't matter because the Washington Commanders beat the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, I don't think, are very good this season. I think they're hot dog water per se. The Commanders get back on the winning ways and win week 15. Now, week 16, this is the battle of the mediocre teams. When they travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, this is the battle of true 500 teams. Basically, which team can do more things right in the end? I think week 16, the Vikings do more things right than the Commanders dropping the Commanders yet to another loss. Week 17, on the road yet again. Saturday night game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game has every implication of being a really, really good game. This game has every implication of being a potential slugfest of a game. This game has every potential of potentially being a Super Bowl preview. However, it does not live up to the hype. The Commanders just completely hot dog walk the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they beat them 35-17 in this game, giving the Commanders another win on the season, going into the Week 18 battle versus the Dallas Cowboys at home. Now, all the way back in Week 2, the Dallas Cowboys absolutely embarrassed the Washington Commanders. All the way back in Week 2, the Dallas Cowboys said, "Bring that ass here, boy," and they whooped that ass for 60 straight minutes up and down the field. And I think Week 18 is much of the same. I think Week 18 is much of the same. The Commanders have a potential chance to make a wild card game, and they just flat out fall flat on their face, losing to the Dallas Cowboys, giving them a 9-8 record on the season. I don't think the Commanders will be that great. I don't think they'll be that bad either. Right there in the middle for the Washington Commanders is about where they will be, and sitting about 8th, 9th, potentially 7th in the NFC. NFC is going to be very, very, very crowded. I think 10 or 11 wins is a must to get into the playoffs this season for the NFC. But guys, what do you think? Is it too high, too low, or just right for the Washington Commanders at 9-8 this season? John Peoples locked it in at 6-11. My man's giving them no mercy. 6-11. Damn, baby. Catch Rogan says, "Let's go Knicks." I don't like anything about New York. So go Spurs. Go Spurs. James Frank says, "Wake me up when September is here." James Frank, you cannot sleep on Man Hour, baby. I need you here every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. for the rest of the month of June and going into July. Because once mid-July hits, baby, we back 4 days a week, plus our Sunday show, giving us 5 days a week. It's going to be here before we know it, baby. Going to be here before we know it. James Frank says, LA Rams getting that ring this year. Get my guy Miles a ring. Can I give you a little spoiler? LA Rams will be a 500 team this season. They're just not going to live up to the hype, brother. They're not going to live up to the hype. It is what it is. I hate to burst your bubble, but that is true. But I have the Washington Commanders guys going 9-8 this season. John has them going 6-11. What do you guys think? Lock in your predictions. What do you think for the old Washington Commanders this season? Now, I think the NFC might be one of the best divisions top to bottom. I think the NFC might be one of those divisions where you are going to look back in a few months in October, November, when they're all sitting at 5-1 or 4-2, thinking, oh shit, here we go. Because when the NFC East is good, that means the Dallas Cowboys are good. And you guys know when the Dallas Cowboys are good, we talking about Super Bowl, baby! We talking about arguably a Super Bowl run for the Dallas Cowboys because Man Hour Nation Jerry Jones is officially shaking up the Big D. Now, after a rough 7-9-1 finish, the Dallas Cowboys completely overhauled their staff, bringing in 34-year-old defensive mastermind Christian Parker to call the defense. But before we look at our way too early win-loss predictions this season, we have to talk about how the front office and that man, the myth, the legend, Jerry Jones, reallocated the budget this spring. Now, first up, the offense locked down its top identity pieces. The Cowboys officially slapped a $27.3 million franchise tag on George Pickens to ensure Dak Prescott keeping his elite alpha weapon while also re-signing Javonte Williams to a crucial 3-year, $24 million deal to anchor the backfield. They also added depth pieces like MVS and Sam Howell to steady the ship. The rich keep getting richer, and the Dallas Cowboys keep getting better and better and better. And oh, by the way, Dak Prescott is the number 2 ranked quarterback in the NFL this season. Put some respect on the name. But then we flip to the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, the defense had many issues last season, getting up multiple 400, 500-yard games. The Cowboys expanded the budget to fit Christian Parker's new secondary vision. They made a massive splash by signing elite safety in Jalen Thompson to a 3-year, $33 million bag, and added physical safety PJ Locke and grabbed up Colby Durant on the boundary. Now, they did lose Jadeveon Clowney and Devontae Flower to free agency, but you know what? Cut that fat and get younger and get faster and get healthy. Because the Dallas Cowboys, they secured George Pickens for this season. They locked down Javonte, and they completely remade the secondary for Coach Parker. Now, let's look at their brutal 2026 schedule and see if this new look defense can carry Dak Prescott into the postseason. Guys, lock in your record guess in the chat right now, because it is time for the official game-by-game predictions and the way too early win-loss predictions. So let's go. So week number 1, the 2027 Super Bowl champions, Dallas Cowboys, start on the road, take on the New York Football Giants. Now, the Giants have gone through some major changes the last couple days. We've seen Malik Neighbors very gingerly running to first place during Celebrity Softball game after his third ACL restructure, surgery, cleanup, whatever you want to call it. They added Juju, they added Braxton Berrios, they added Odell Beckham Jr., and they added John Harbaugh this season. Now, Jackson Dart coming off some injuries, Scabado coming off some injuries. We don't know exactly what the Giants are going to be come week 1, but I do know week 1 in East Rutherford, New Jersey, that stadium is going to be rocking. The Giants are going to be rocking. They're going to be hungry. And they do upset the Dallas Cowboys week 1, starting the Cowboys off 0-1 to start the season. But that's okay, baby. That is okay, because week 2, they're at home for their own opener at A&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, to take on the Washington Commanders. Now, I do think the Commanders will be better than their 5-win season last year, but the Dallas Cowboys waxed that ass week 2. Jaden Daniels gets sacked 4 or 5 times. Scary Terry gets held to 0 catches. Caleb Downs is wearing the new number 2 now. He is going to be a dog all game long. And Dak Prescott has 5 or 6 touchdowns in the first half alone. The Dallas Cowboys get the first win of the NFL season, week 2, over the Washington Commanders, giving us a week 3 matchup versus the Baltimore Ravens in Brazil. Now, technically, they're not going over the pond, but they are going over the Gulf of America. And when you travel this far to any game, offenses normally do not travel. Defenses travel. And the Dallas Cowboys defense got a hell of a lot better this season. They got younger, they got faster, and they just got flat out mean. The Baltimore Ravens are going to get popped in the mouth over and over and over again. Agent Zero is going to come back and sack Lamar Jackson at least 3 or 4 times. Caleb Downs might have 2 or 3 interceptions in this game alone. The Dallas Cowboys win ugly versus the Baltimore Ravens in Brazil, giving them a second victory of the season, sitting at 2-1, going into week 4, when they travel to Houston to take on the Texans for the Battle of Texas. Now, I have been hyping up the Houston Texans. I have been hyping up that defense over and over and over again. Every team that we have broken down and they play the Houston Texans, I say the Houston Texans have the best defense in the NFL, period, hands down, and they do. However, when the Dallas Cowboys have the best offense in the NFL with a pretty good defense, you match firepower with firepower, and the Dallas Cowboys firepower beats the Houston Texans firepower. Give me the Dallas Cowboys in this victory. Week 4, 3rd win in a row. We cooking, baby. We cooking. Week number 5, back at home, Thursday Night Football to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. can we say home cooking is the best cooking? Because the Dallas Cowboys just get their 4th win over the road over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have now beaten the Washington Commanders. They have now beaten the Baltimore Ravens. They have now beaten the Houston Texans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All potential playoff teams. However, week 16 slowed down, baby. Week 6. Micah Parsons, potential first game back. Micah Parsons playing his old team in the Dallas Cowboys at Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon, baby. The Green Bay Packers get the better of the Dallas Cowboys in week number 6, giving the Cowboys the 2nd loss of the season. Now, the worst medicine for a loss is a long week off after a loss. Now, they don't have a bye week, but they play on Monday Night Football versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. The Dallas Cowboys just ripped off 4 emotional games in a row. Then they lose an emotional game to the Green Bay Packers. Now, divisional opponent on Monday Night Football, fresh off that loss, hangover is a real deal. The Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys week number 7, giving the Cowboys a 2-game losing streak. Then we go to week number 8. They are back at home. 1 p.m. slime talk. Not a good thing for the Dallas Cowboys. They don't play well at 1 o'clock. They welcome the Arizona Cardinals into town. Do you guys remember when I told you that the certain teams just play in Phoenix bad? The Packers play in Phoenix bad, or in Arizona. The Cowboys play Arizona bad. The Commanders play Arizona bad in Arizona. The Cowboys play the Cardinals bad wherever. Ever since Emmitt Smith went to the Arizona Cardinals, the Dallas Cowboys have just not played well against the Arizona Cardinals. In week number 8, the Dallas Cowboys dropped their 3rd game in a row, losing to the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, Cowboys Nation, what is going on? We started off hot. Started off 4-1. Started off smacking people in the mouth, saying, "Who's your daddy?" "I'm your daddy because I did this to your mama." Now all of a sudden, 3 losses in a row. Now all of a sudden, we're sitting at 4 losses on the season. It's okay, baby. Slow it down, baby, because week number 9, they go on the road to Indianapolis, Indiana, to take on the Indianapolis Colts. It doesn't matter if it's Anthony Richardson. It doesn't matter if it's Daniel Jones. It doesn't matter if it's Easton Stick. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the running back is. It doesn't matter who the head coach is. The Dallas Cowboys go into Lucas Oil Stadium and they whoop that ass. 45-0, complete shutout, complete domination from start to finish. Get back on those winning ways. Because week 10, the San Francisco 49ers come down to the Dallas, Texas, the greatest country in the earth, to take on the Dallas Cowboys. 49ers think they got the Dallas Cowboys number. 49ers think they click it. 49ers think they the top dogs in the NFC. And the Dallas Cowboys say, "Slow it down, baby. Come here. Let me whisper something in your ear, Brock Purdy. Let me whisper something in your ear, Kyle Shanahan. Let me whisper something there. Y'all suck." Because the Dallas Cowboys beat the San Francisco 49ers week 10, 2-game winning streak. Here we go. Things start clicking. Things start rolling because week 11, they're at home yet again. 2nd home game in a row. This time taking on the Tennessee Titans. Does anybody think the Tennessee Titans have a chance in this game? Does anybody in their right mind think the Tennessee Titans have a chance to win this game? If you say yes, I'm going to call you a liar and go smack your mama in the mouth because the Dallas Cowboys whooped that ass yet again. 3-game winning streak. We rolling because week number 12, 3rd game in a row, Thursday Night Football, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is actually a Thanksgiving game. Dallas Cowboys continue their winning ways. 4 games in a row, 4 ass whoopings in a row. Bring that ass here, boy, because week 13, they go into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks, defending Super Bowl champions on Monday Night Football. Now, the 12s are going to have to pump noise into the stadium all game long. The 12s are going to have to take some Starbucks coffee to stay awake in this game all game long because the Dallas Cowboys are going to come into the stadium. The Dallas Cowboys are going to put their beer down. The Dallas Cowboys are going to look at Sam Darnold and say, "Who are you?" It doesn't matter who Sam Darnold is. It doesn't matter if Charbonnet's back. It doesn't matter if that defense is elite defense. The Dallas Cowboys get their 5th win in a row, beating the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Woo, baby. Week 14 bye week. Take a deep breath. Take a relax because the Dallas Cowboys are clicking. The Dallas Cowboys have 4 losses this season, but you know what? They have just won 5 games in a row. 5 huge games in a row. Week 14 bye week is nice. Take a deep breath, take relax. But week 15, coming off the bye week, they traveled to California to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams might be one of the best teams we have ever seen put together on paper. The LA Rams might be the best all-Madden team ever on paper. However, the games are not won on paper. However, the games are won in between the lines. However, the Dallas Cowboys do lose this game to the LA Rams. It is close, it is competitive, but the Dallas Cowboys needed this loss to the LA Rams to rewrite the ship. A potential AFC championship preview right there in week number 15. They get the L. Week 16, they're back at home, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are a much improved team. The Jaguars they're a pretty good team, but not as good as the Dallas Cowboys. Not as elite as the Dallas Cowboys. Not as dominant as the Dallas Cowboys are, because the Dallas Cowboys beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 16, giving us a week 17 matchup at home, taking on the New York Football Giants. Flashback to week 1. What happened week 1? New York Giants fed off of energy, fed off the atmosphere, fed off of the new coach, the new players. They ended up beating the Dallas Cowboys. Week 17, completely different story. The Dallas Cowboys are them. The Dallas Cowboys are clicking. The Dallas Cowboys are on top of the NFC East, and they show it when they whoop the New York Football Giants' ass in week 17. Give us a week 18 matchup on the road versus the Washington Commanders. Now, the Dallas Cowboys do not have the NFC East locked up going into week 18. Let me make that perfectly clear. They do not have the NFC East locked up going into week 18. They have to play this week 18 game versus the Washington Commanders. And they win that game, giving them a 12-5 record on the season, 4-2 in the division. This is a team that is much improved. This is a team that's going to make some noise in the regular season. This is a team that's going to beat a lot of people mentally, emotionally, and physically up and down the field. But Man Hour Nation, 12 wins for the Dallas Cowboys. Too high? Too low? Or just right? Let me know down in the comments down below. And Mr. John People says the Dallas Cowboys will be 9-8 this season. Okay, my man. I can see why you're saying 9-8.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
I can see why you think the Dallas Cowboys will have a winning season, just not a great season. But why? Do not like Dak Prescott. Do not like the defense. Do not like them just being straight dogs. What don't you like about the Dallas Cowboys? That 12 wins is too high for you. Now, you still have them as a winning team. I do not think 9 wins will get you into the NFC playoffs. Let's be perfectly clear about that. You will need a minimum of 10 or win the division. So you have Cowboys at 9-8, missing the playoffs. John says they have taken the word retard to epic levels. Is that coming from a Raiders fan or a Lions fan? Because we all know retards come from Vegas. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. But Man Hour Nation, if you thought other teams in the league had some wild off seasons, wait until you see the nuclear bomb Howie Roseman just dropped in Philadelphia. Guys, the Eagles officially pressed the reset button on their dynamic identity. But before we hit the way too early win-loss prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles, we have to talk about the absolute wish lapse this fan base is dealing with right now. Because the absolute blockbuster move of the summer just went down. A.J. Brown has been traded to the New England Patriots for a massive haul in future draft capital with Jalen Dotson heading to Atlanta. Jalen Hurts' wideout room looks entirely different. They replaced him, how he signed featured Hollywood Brown, Wicks, and then they drafted Lemon as well. And they surprisingly retained Dallas Goedert on a one-year deal. And they secured the trenches as well by signing tackle Jordan Davis to a monster $78 million extension. Now on the defensive side of the ball, Vic Fangio's unit is going through a tough, massive personnel swap. What's new in Philadelphia? Now, they did get some major size and /speed upgrades, signing lockdown corner Woolen with the $15 million deal and adding veteran Jonathan Jones, but it cost him a tons of depth. The Eagles watched safety Reed Blankenship walk to the Texans and traded away Sidney Brown, and they lost linebackers Dean and Jalen Phillips in free agency. They traded away elite alpha weapons, completely flipped the secondary, and let major defensive starters walk out the door. But now let's look at the 2026 schedule and see if Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts can survive this master roster facelift and lock in your way too early win-loss prediction for the Philadelphia Eagles right now and the chat. So guys, let's get into the way too early win-loss predictions for the Philadelphia Eagles this 2026 NFL season. The Eagles are a team, guys, that no matter how much you count them out, they are going to be there at the end. They can lose 15 starters, retool, reamp, hire a new defensive coordinator, bring in a new offensive coordinator, and they're going to be in the Super Bowl. That is their MO as of late. Use them, abuse them, recycle them, reuse, bring them a new guy in. In week number 1, right off the bat, when they're at home, take on the Washington Commanders, it shows that they are definitely a very, very much of a plug-and-play system. Is it the Nick Sirianni system or just the Philadelphia Eagles culture at this moment? It doesn't matter. They beat the Washington Commanders come week number 1. Week number 2, they stay hot, even on the road, take on the Tennessee Titans. Titans can be hyped after their week 1 win over the New York Football Jets. The Titans can be hyped about, potentially making a nice little push. But the Philadelphia Eagles squashed the Titans before they can even think about getting a win, giving the Philadelphia Eagles a 2-0 start to the season. Now, week number 3, this is where the real tests start to begin for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Commanders was a good little divisional game to start the year off. The Titans were a good little road game to start the year off. But week 3, when you travel to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football, all eyes are on you. Jalen Hurts usually thrives with the pressure. However, this game, things are just not clicking right for them. They lose to the Chicago Bears in week 3. I think the Chicago Bears are a good team, a much improved team, even more improved than last season. But Super Bowl, slow down, baby. Week number 3, they do get the first loss of the season to the Chicago Bears. Now, week number 4, at home, taking on arguably the best team in the NFC, the LA Rams. Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford, Puka, Kyron Williams, the list goes on and on and on and on. The Rams are a very, very good team. The Rams are a team that you do not want to play. However, when you travel from the West Coast to the East Coast, that is a huge advantage, and the Philadelphia Eagles take advantage of that, giving them the 3rd win of the season being the LA Rams. Now, week number 5. This is where the bullshit starts to happen. Because week number 5, they travel over to London to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in their home away from home. Defenses travel, offenses not so much. Jacksonville Jaguars, they've been there, they've done that. The Jaguars usually play well overseas. They nip the Eagles in the butt in this game. They're not the better team, but they do get the win, meaning the Jacksonville Jaguars, over the Philadelphia Eagles in week 5. Week number 6, no bye for them, total BS, but they do play at home, take on the Carolina Panthers, fresh off of their bye week. How does that make sense? They're trying to throw the Philadelphia Eagles under the bus. It does not work because the Eagles rebound after the Jacksonville Jaguars lost, beating the Carolina Panthers 28-14. Now, week 7 matchup, taking on the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Eagles are very, very good during prime time. When the lights are on the Eagles at home, they play very, very well. And they beat the Dallas Cowboys week 7. It is a good game. It is a much-watched TV game. Hell, it might even go into overtime. Eagles get the win, winning 2 in a row and 3 of their last 4. But week 8, things kind of fall off the track a little bit. Emotional game on Monday Night Football at home. Then you travel on the road to play the Commanders fresh off of their bye. A little bit of a trap game, and they get trapped and they get beat by the Washington Commanders 14-17. Now, week 9, they're at home, take on the New York Football Giants, fresh off of their bye week. Now, let's backtrack a little bit here. Week 5, they're playing in London versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. They come back home week 6 to play the Carolina Panthers, fresh off of their bye. Then they play the Washington Commanders, fresh off of their bye. And then they play the New York Football Giants, fresh off of their bye. What? Is the NFL trying to screw the Philadelphia Eagles? It doesn't matter. The Philadelphia Eagles are ready for their bye week, and they go in and just kind of cakewalk in this game. They beat the Giants, but it is ugly 12-10, 14-13, that type of score. This would be a game where A.J. Brown is reading his book on the sideline, that type of situation. I know A.J. Brown isn't on the Eagles right now, but it would be that type of game. Give us the week 10 bye week. Much needed bye week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Lots of travel, lots of tough games, lots of emotional outburst. And week 11, that emotional outburst continues to happen. They gather all their energy and they release it on the Pittsburgh Steelers week 11. This game, not even close. Jalen Hurts looks like the best quarterback in the NFL. Lemon looked like he might be rookie of the year. Saquon Barkley still doing his thing, baby. Pittsburgh Steelers get the loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in week 11. Give us a week 12 matchup on Thursday Night Football, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. You guys remember when I said the Dallas Cowboys are hot at this particular time of the year? The Dallas Cowboys are rolling at this particular time of the season. Matter of fact, the Dallas Cowboys have probably won, 8 or 9 games in a row at this particular time of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles is one of those casualties, and they do lose to the Dallas Cowboys on the road on Thursday football. Give us a week 13 matchup, take on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Nice little mini bye week. Take some time to rest, heal up the brunt and bruises. Cardinals are not very good. The Eagles take advantage, getting the dub. Okay. Now we're starting to see the Eagles come back to life. Winners 3 of their last 4. Playing some pretty good football now. Because week 14, when they're at home, take on the Indianapolis Colts fresh off of their bye week. They put that belt to ass. Colts, not even close in this game. The Eagles steamwalk them 35-6. This game is over before it begins. Gives a week 15 matchup, a potential NFC Championship game preview. Seattle Seahawks travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Now, Saturday night game. Primetime game, they say. Seahawks will be clicking at this particular point. Charbonnet should be back at 100%. Sam Darnold is going to rely heavily on that running game this week 15 game. I think the Seahawks pull it out versus the Philadelphia Eagles, giving the Eagles their 5th loss of the season. Come week 16. Thursday Night Football at home, taking on the Houston Texans. Right now, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles cannot lose any games. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are a team that's kind of skimming by the tip of their teeth. The NFC East race is very, very tight. Houston Texans, the best team in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles have a top 10 defense in the NFL. However, Philadelphia Eagles offense is a lot better than Houston Texans offense. The Eagles get the win, giving them their 10th win of the season, sitting at 10-5 going into week 17 when they traveled to Santa Clara, California to take on the 49ers right by the electrical plant. 49ers are probably injured at this point. 16, 17, 18 guys on like IR. Brock Purdy's trying to play hero ball, not playing well. The Eagles take advantage, and they beat the 49ers on the road, and they whoop that ass. Gives a Week 18 matchup for all the marbles. Dallas Cowboys just won their 12th game of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles need to win Week 18 in East Rutherford, New Jersey versus the New York Football Giants to get their 12th win of the season. I do think they beat the New York Football Giants in this Week 18 season, or in this Week 18 game. I do think the Philadelphia Eagles do get their 12th win of the season. And then I do think the Philadelphia Eagles do win the NFC East with a 12-5 record with the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. Put some respect on their name, guys. The Eagles are back on top. But let me ask you this, Man Hour Nation. 12 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. Too high? Too low? Or just right? Let me know down in the comments down below. Now, the final team of the NFC East. One of the most slept on teams in the entire NFC. Man Hour Nation, let's talk about the absolute tectonic shift in the East Rutherford. The New York Giants have officially entered a brand new universe, handing the reins over to legendary head coach John Harbaugh to completely fix the culture. But before we get into our way too early win-loss predictions, we have to talk about the absolute whiplash this offseason this front office just put together. First up, the offense is loading up on veteran flavor and protection for the young quarterback Jackson Dart. In a move that absolutely has broken the internet, Odell Beckham Jr. is officially back in the New York Giants uniform. Alongside the signing of veteran wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster and Braxton Berrios and Darnell Mooney. To protect the passing game, the front office reinforced the trenches by bringing in massive 375-pound right guard Daniel Frabel. And they added veteran Lucas Patrick as well. Now on the defense, the front office dropped an absolute nuclear bomb before the draft, trading away superstar defensive tackle sexy Dexter Lawrence. I did not like this, but when you get a 10th overall draft pick for him, okay, I can see it. To reload that unit around Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, the Giants spin a bag in free agency, bringing on Javavion Holland, linebacker, and Tremaine Edmonds to lockdown, and a lockdown corner Greg Newsome II to secure the boundary. It's a defense built on pure speed and pure physical play. They hired John Harbaugh, trade-rated franchise cornerstone, and brought back Odell Beckham Jr. and completely remade the secondary. Guys, the Giants are going to make some noise in the 2026 NFL season. So chat, lock down your record for the New York Football Giants right now as we get into the way too early win-loss record for the New York Football Giants. Now, let me start by this right here that I said back in February going into March, that the New York Football Giants are going to be one of the most slept-on teams in the entire NFL. In week number 1, there's going to be a lot of teams, a lot of people sleeping on them. And when they upset the Dallas Cowboys week 1 at home, people are going to be like, what? The Cowboys just suck. The Cowboys aren't very good. The Giants are better. The Cowboys defense, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We get that. Week 1 win over the Dallas Cowboys. But then week 2, on Monday Night Football, the New York Football Giants travel across the continental United States of America to take on the LA Rams. Rams got a hell of a lot better. No question about it. But people are overlooking the New York Football Giants. People are sleeping on the New York Football Giants. And the Giants get the win over the LA Rams week number 2 on Monday Night Football, starting them off 2-0. 20-0 season out the window for the Rams. It's over before it even begins. Now, all of a sudden, people are looking at the Giants like, okay, John Harbaugh, we see you. Okay, Jackson Dart, we see you. Okay, Odell Beckham Jr., you have a little left black in the tank. Week number 3, that momentum carries back at home when they play the Tennessee Titans. Now, ego's starting to get a little inflated. Ego's starting to get a little big for Cam Scabino, Jackson Dart, Odell Beckham Jr. be like, oh, we want to see one-handed catch. They beat the Tennessee Titans week 3. Do not get it twisted. They started the season off 3-0. It's an ugly win. 17-14, 14-10. Kind of maybe an eye-opening game. Because that eye-opening game comes in week 4 when they play the Arizona Cardinals for their second home game in a row. 3 home games out of their last 4. Jackson Dart looking pretty good. The connection with Barrios and Juju and Odell are really helping Jackson Dart along in the season. They get their 4th win in a row, starting season off 4-0 after the week 4 win over the Arizona Cardinals. But week number 5, they kind of had that eye-opening game. On the road, divisional opponent against the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are going to be better than the 5-12 record from last season. And the Commanders beat the Giants come week number 5. They kind of got to reset that tone a little bit, baby. Because week 6, they're back at home, take on the New Orleans Saints, and they beat the Saints. Saints are just not a good team. I don't care who that nation want to say, the Saints are just not very good. Alvin Kamara is going to be out. Chris Olave is going to be out. You got Tyler Shuck as a quarterback. Congratulations, you guys are not very good. But the Giants are 5-1, heading to a Week 7 showdown versus the Houston Texans in Houston. Texans are the best defense in the NFL. The Texans have a top 15 offense in the NFL. Giants do not. Giants are hot. They're well, but they just cannot compete with a team like the Houston Texans as of right now, given their second loss in the season going into a bye week. Now, you start off 4-0. You beat the Cowboys, best team in the NFC. You beat the Rams, second best team in the NFC. Beat the Cardinals, you beat the Titans, and you beat the Saints. Very, very, very good wins. However, when you get thumped by the Houston Texans going into your bye week, coming out of that bye week, you are going to respond one of 2 ways. You're going to get thumped again, or you're going to come out there and you're going to whoop that team's ass. I think week 9, when they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, they get thumped yet again. Dropping them another game, losers of 2 in a row and 3 of their last 4. All of a sudden, things are not looking so peachy in New York land. Because week number 10, on Thursday Night Football, they're at home, take on the Washington Commanders. I think the Commanders sweep the New York Giants this season when they beat them Thursday Night Football 13-10. Giants, midseason lull. Get out of the rut. You have lost 3 in a row. You have lost 4 of your last 5. They need a get-me-right game, and that comes week 11 when they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. That get-me-right game is just what they needed because they do beat the Jaguars, a good Jaguars team, 21-10, starting to get their ship right in the right direction because week 12, that carries on when they travel to Indianapolis, Indiana to take on the Colts. Jackson Dart looks like a top 10 quarterback in this game, and they beat the Colts yet again, giving them 2 wins in a row. Now, week 13, they're back at home taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are not going to be a good team. They're not going to be bad. They're not going to be great. They're just going to be a good team. 9-win team, 8-win team. That is just where they stand. I think the Giants are a little bit better, and they get the win over the San Francisco 49ers in week 13, giving the 3rd win in a row. Now, week 14, they are going to complete the NFC West trifecta when they travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks, reigning Super Bowl champions. Seahawks fans are kind of upset with me right now. I don't have them going 17-0. I don't have them going 15-2 or 14-13. I have them as a nice mediocre team. And when you're a nice, mediocre team, you normally get beat by a little bit better mediocre teams. And I think the Giants are a better mediocre team than the Seattle Seahawks, giving them the 4th win in a row in Week 14 over the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, Giants. You started off 4-0, beating some really, really good teams, went through a rough stretch, and now you beat 4 really good teams yet again. Can you get the 5th win? Week 15 at home, take on the Cleveland Browns? Of course you can, right? Whoa, slow down, baby. When I said the Giants are the most slept-on team in the NFC, the most slept-on team in the entire NFL, the Cleveland Browns. Yes, they no longer have Myles Garrett. Whatever. Jared Verse is still pretty damn good. Shamir Stewart, pretty damn good. Deshaun Watson, pretty damn good. The Cleveland Browns, pretty damn good. They beat the Giants Week 15, 17-14. Give us a Week 16 matchup on the road in Detroit on Monday Night Football. Now, the last time the Giants were on Monday Night Football, they beat the LA Rams back in Week 2. They were being overlooked. The Detroit Lions do not overlook them. However, the Giants do get the win in the Motor City on the road on Monday Night Football over the Detroit Lions, 28-21. But that, my friends, is the final win of the season. Because Week 17, when they travel to AT&T Stadium in Dallas to take on the Cowboys, complete meltdown, complete shellacking. Playoffs are slipping away. I think 10 wins is needed to make the playoffs minimum in the NFC. And right now, that's exactly where the Giants are sitting at 10 wins. All they got to do is win Week 18 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Guess what? Philadelphia Eagles are playing for the NFC East Championship. The Philadelphia Eagles need that dub. Giants lose to the Eagles Week 18, giving them a 10-7 record in the 2026 NFL season. Good for 8th place, just on the outside of the playoffs, looking in. So, guys, 10 wins for the New York football Giants. Is that too high, too low, or just right? My man John Schweitzer's in the chat. What's up, John? He says Steelers are the king of the North again. Goes to the AFC Championship game, and then we'll see what happens. John, I broke down the AFC North last Thursday, and the Steelers clip is coming out Friday. I can tell you, spoiler alert, I guess not really spoiler, like we did live. I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a winning season. I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a playoff team. But Kings in the North, not so fast, baby, because that is the Cleveland Browns, baby. It is what it is. But he's saying the New York Football Giants will be 7-10 this season. That's tough. John, that is tough. He also has the Saints beating the Giants. John, if the Saints beat the Giants back in Week 7, your 7-10 record is a very, very true possibility. Because if the Saints beat them, I feel the Rams will beat them. I feel the Cowboys will beat them. I feel that the Arizona Cardinals will beat them in this first 7 weeks of the season. And they've given us that 3-game swing, that 6-game swing, I guess it should be. So yes, I do agree. If the Saints beat them, there'll be a 7-10 team. But I do think the Giants beat the Saints, giving the Giants a 10-7 season. But guys, that is going to be it for Man Hour tonight. That is the NFC East. Way too early win-loss predictions, guys. We've been uploading all of the predictions every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. East Coast time. So if you missed your team, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also join us live right now, Tuesdays and Thursdays till the end of June. And then middle of July, we go back to 4 to 5 days a week. Man Hour live, raw, uncut as always, guys. But until then, we are out. See you guys Thursday, 9 p.m. East Coast time, right at youtube.com/Man Hour. We out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man Hour NFL talk. I know that you ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL Talk. Let's go.